How awesome. We're just preparing to go live. Awesome. How wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Welcome, Nicola.
Hi. Yeah.
It's nice. Preparing to go live. Oh, that's that feedback. Don't you love it? I just so let's just come in. It's such a privilege and an honor to have this glorious conversation with you, all about nice goddess, journeys and your journey. But before we actually start, I just want to share with everybody, Nicola has been such an instrumental piece of my journey many years ago, probably 6-7 years ago now, when Nicola was doing her yoga. I was a avid student of hers, and she was so instrumental that she inspired me to do my yoga teaching. So I thank you for that, Nicola, all those years ago.
It's very humbling to hear that, Tosca. I mean, you're an incredible yoga teacher. The yoga speaks for itself often, doesn't it? It was an honor to be sharing yoga with you back then and now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We share the yoga love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we are still in the Joyful Goddess program. We're up to week 7. We're just coming into the last module, the last big walking the path of the goddess. So how has this been for you? What's some of the biggest takeaways or learnings or deepenings that you have experienced?
Where to start, Tosca? Even firstly, the opportunity to share with a beautiful bunch of women weekly, twice a week, to hear their stories and their insights has been really beautiful. And even doing some intentions, and for me yesterday, having my intentions done, the uplifting feeling that you get from other women supporting you and having conversations is just beyond words. Such a crucial part of, I think, all of our lives, to make sure that we're having conversations and supporting one another in that goddesshood. And I think the biggest learning or insights for me, the biggest change, one of the things I was focusing on is my self-worth and getting rid of some of those self-doubts, and looking as Mia is now in kindy this year, I was looking at what to do as my work, or where to grow the yoga. And I do work at the yoga school with a class there, and I was looking at my own yoga with Nicola business, and taking money and believing yourself is tricky, putting yourself out there as well. And so when we've done the activities over the last weeks of shining the light on some of those behaviours we may have that creep in, whether to doubt ourselves or the voices that we hear, has just gotten help to put them to the side and value my skills that I can bring to always be, I guess the other thing I've really learnt is to take responsibility as well of my own day and my own needs. So that has helped, that if I don't do the best class ever, then I look at what I can do better, and I'm gentle with myself. So there is a real element of the combination of, okay, let's look at my needs to become an even better yoga teacher, if I perhaps miss the mark with a class, but to also, I've really learnt to value what I have learnt over the years to assist people with, not only with their posture, but to make yoga accessible to everybody. It's such a beautiful tool in our lives, and charging money. So I was able to set prices and take that from people without putting my head down and and thinking, oh, what am I doing? And I've gone since we've started the course, all of a sudden now I'm having to actually say, look, I'm sorry, I can't take on any more sessions with people and groups. So that's a lovely feeling to have, And of course, lovely to be doing something that, you know, I enjoy doing. So yeah, so it's definitely standing stronger in myself and getting rid of the self-doubt. And I think one of the questions I wrote down when one of the activities I've got written is, at the end of the day, did you get closer to your heart or further away? So that lovely self-reflection of, how was my day? Did I honour myself? Did I listen to myself? Was I present with other people as well, and present with a loving intention for what I was doing, whether it was with family or my friends, or anyone practicing yoga with them as well. Yeah.
Wow. There's just so much there, Nicola.
Yeah, and I could keep going, Tosca. It's as you said, over the 8 weeks with the Saturday looking at a topic and then putting it into practice and reflecting again during the week. We've had a chance to let it to sink in, to really step back and practice, the questions that you give us. But the whole process, if I can just thank you, the process that we go through with you, from the opening visualizations and poems, to really set ourselves in that space to have time to and I think a few of the ladies the other day were saying that we're like, how are we going to fit this in? And I've done it. I know you're going to do this also in a retreat, which would be amazing. But for me as a mum at home, I've been able to do this from my room once Mia's in bed on an afternoon. Some days she's with somebody, other days she's out there watching television. So I've had an opportunity to do something that perhaps, you can't always do if you're being mum.
Yeah. Oh, how awesome that access is there to actually be at home, can still have the kids around, still, be able to attend, but do it in the comfort of your own home.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have a cup of tea beside me.
Oh, divine. So you mentioned, this self-worth, and especially when we start to step into our own power and to actually own our own power and to ask for money, to actually put a cost to to the value of what we're bringing. And so many times as women, we tend to undersell ourselves rather than being very real and truthful to the price that we're really wanting. And it sounds like you've had that journey.
Absolutely. From feeling like I would partly, wanting to just do it for free, but, we all have our costs and expenses. And, often in a role where there's training and equipment and travel and all the rest of it, it can seem like quite a lot to say this is, and when you have been working over the years to make sure you do something well, but to sort of doubt, am I worth it? Can I ask that much? Or, am I worth that much? So it is really lovely to step into yourself and your power, as you said, to actually say, yes, I'm going to offer the best session I can with the wisdom that I've gotten. And people are quite happy to pay for the services. And I think definitely doing them with a loving intention makes a big difference with it as well. But to now believe in myself and back myself up, feels pretty cool, actually.
It is totally super cool. That is, the best thing out ever, to actually back ourselves up, hey, to really give ourselves the energy, the trust, the passion, go, I'm going to do this. I'm going to step out of my comfort zone and to actually do it.
Absolutely. Oh, and it's, as you said, that it's like a product placement. You're placing yourself and saying, I am actually, believe that I can, offer what yoga can do for you and do it well. And it's wonderful. And to have the like I think I mentioned before that I did one last week thinking it was a one-off, and now that's a weekly booking. And so, you put the price and you've asked for it, and yes, believe it, what they say, build it, and they will come.
How that is just so exciting and so epic. So if you had to, do you think that's been one of the biggest changes that you've witnessed in yourself?
That's probably the biggest one that you can see straight in front of me. But no, there's the other, I think the self-reflection on a weekly basis. And look, there's times where, you know, it's challenging to stop and actually look and realize that actually I haven't been honoring myself in some of these practices that that I've been doing. So to stop and reflect is not necessarily always easy. So no, the other aspect of what has changed is that pausing, using the activities that we've done, whether it's been, you know, shining the light on our fears, doing forgiveness, you know, even our daily devotions of setting that time aside for us with a cup of tea. My own yoga practice that I was starting to sometimes make excuses as to when I did that has increased well because of that acknowledgement that, you know, I am responsible for myself, and, you know, to give yourself, well, it's not really giving myself a kick up the butt, but it's just acknowledging these are the things that rock my soul and to make time for more of it. So yeah, that answers the other parts. Probably the big thing for me is the you know, I believe I often think about other people, and you know, it's that as a female and as a mum, I think sometimes I you know, don't always stop to make time, or it didn't always feel comfortable asking for what your needs are, and that's nobody else's you know, doing, it's your own. So that's probably another big change for me, particularly as, you know, a new mum of a 4-year-old, of then learning, actually, no, it's all right, I am tired right now, rather than before I just went, oh, I'm tired, I just got to suck it up and keep going. But now, like, actually, you know what, I can actually stop and take time out, and the world is not going to end.
Wow, wow, wow. That is life-changing. That is truly life-changing. That is a big inner shift there. Yeah. To give yourself, it really is, to give yourself permission to do that.
Well, yeah, and it's been a habit of mine since forever. So it is a really big shift, and yes, big.
Yeah. Wow. That it's the shift, the internal shift, but then it's the reality of changing our behaviors to support that shift.
Yes. Yeah. And that's still taking time. There's still work to be done. So there's that, you're right. It's a process of that first stepping back and reminding and being re-educated on, you know, on so much. Then reflecting, then putting it, shifting internally, and then speaking it out to others and putting it into place, and making that happen, which is happening now.
Yeah, yeah. And it sounds like there's so much intentionality. It's very much a conscious decision.
Yes.
Yes.
I think, yeah, absolutely. It's and sometimes it's you have to practice it more to make it more part of your life. So it's very much not happening without a deliberate choice, you know, from the course. This is what's going to be beneficial, and keep doing that, and then it'll become more and more of who I am as a person as well. And you know, the idea of the joyful goddess is that we all start to shine even more, support one each other need more, and that these practices of, you know, honoring ourselves and other women becomes just a everyday thing.
Totally. I couldn't have said it better myself. That's just divine, and 150%. So just listening, if the viewers out there are listening to your story and your personal journey with this program and the beautiful women, and they were asking themselves, is this for me? Is it not for me? Like, I don't know about group programs. I'm feeling a little bit uncertain. is there anything that you could share with them to sort of ease that angst?
Well, I think sometimes if you have a calling or a desire to, I mean, even for myself, to find more congruence between your heart and your head, to just make sure that your daily life is becoming so joyful, because life isn't, doesn't have to be always, in the grind, or because you have to do something. Sometimes that letting go of the restraints in ourselves. So if somebody is out there and you're thinking, yes, I really would like to step into something else and I don't know how to, then sometimes it's jump in and give it a go. You have nothing to lose. I said to Tosca, I did the payment plan, so I was enabled to break it down a little bit more as well. I didn't know how I was going to make the times work with children and obligations, but it actually became really easy. So some of those practical elements, we just can make it happen. And even those little fears there, just jump on board and pop them to the side, because those fears sometimes are what holds us back from embracing our passions and who we are and our family and life in this beautiful Cairns, even more. So you're surrounded by love in a really safe environment. Tosca, I've often said, you just know what to say at the right time. There's no judgments. There's plenty of support and an openness to explore yourself. So I guess have a chat to Tosca if you really do think, oh, I'd like to, but, because often those buts are, can be, put to the side and abolished, really, because there might just be a little fear that can be let go of, and you're in really good hands with Tosca. Her wealth of, I know you've done a lot of work and a lot of training to come to where you are now, and it comes through. So, what you do present with the sequence is just beautiful, and your responses create a really lovely atmosphere for people to just, take that time. So well done to you, Tosca. But go for it. Anybody else? I'm more than happy to encourage everyone to do it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Nicola. I appreciate your words and your insights and your wisdom from where you are to how you see it, and the journey that it is. And So I wanted to say from my heart to yours, a very, very big thank you. Thank you for your time this afternoon, and thank you so much for being a part of the Joyful Goddess. It is truly a privilege and honour to be in this space with you.
Oh, thank you. I think it's been an honour for us all to be together with you, Tosca. It's just been lovely. I'm going to miss it after next week.
I know, there's more juicy conversations to happen, isn't there?
Yeah.
Well, have a glorious afternoon, and yes, I will see you very soon online again.
Yeah, we'll do.
Ciao.
I can't believe my first Facebook Live. So
you've done very well. You've done very well. Do your magic. Bye.
Bye.